Hi there everyone, welcome to another ORAS Wi-Fi battle. This is a battle I had against a person on my stream the other day, and yeah, they're bringing some pretty powerful threats there, and this is a UU team that I recently just put together, and figured I'd see how they do. So yeah, since I have my Galvantula, I assume he's going to predict I'd want to lead with that, and he'd probably want to lead with Donphan. So I switch out my Hitmontop instead. And of course out comes the Dumbo, and I get the nice Intimidate off. I know they can be a bit bulky, so I decide to go for a Toxic here. I know that'll definitely help in the long run. But he switches into his Golden Gary, who has the Intimidate. Not too much of a problem. I know they can sometimes be bulky, so getting a Toxic off ain't bad. I figure he's probably going to want to hit me with something here, so I'm just going to go for counter, do that damage back. But turns out he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, not too bad, because Hitmontop isn't really a physical attacker, it's more of a physical wall for me. So, and now I see with the leftovers and Intimidate, that is probably a bulky Arcanine, so the Toxic on it was quite good. Here I figure there isn't really much I can do to it, so I'm probably best off switching. And it appears he had the same idea too. Lucky for me, he switches into his Birdie, and I happen to switch into my Galvantula, knowing that now would be a good time to set up the web. He panics and quickly switches out, and sends in his Fat Duck. Here I figured just trying to kill the Murkrow would be the best thing, so I went for Thunder. And unfortunately it misses, so I just go for the Sticky Web now. Surprisingly, the swing goes for Toxic. Guess perhaps he wanted to just make sure he broke my sash. Here I figure I'll see how much of... actually, I decide to switch out and send in Umbreon. I know if I can get a Toxic off on this thing, it will be great. Unfortunately for me, he does paralyze me with his dry attack, and the Synchronize activates, paralyzing it, so no Toxic for the Fat Duck. So, he sends back out his Murkrow, and I am unfortunately paralyzed. I know Murkrow like to have strong attacks, but Dark isn't very effective against Dark, so I figure getting a Toxic off on it would be great, considering these things mainly do Brave Bird, so all that residual damage from the recoil, not to mention this guy's holding Life Orb. So I get the Toxic off, and I know that another Brave Bird will kill me, and I would like to keep my Umbreon around for a bit longer. So I decide to switch out here. And here I bring in my Hitmontop, thinking even if it does kill me, I'll get the Intimidate off, I'll lower its attack so it won't get a Moxie boost, and it'll drain most of its HP away, killing my Hitmontop, so that it's no longer a threat for anything else. That powerful Life Orb Brave Bird does kill Hitmontop, and he does get the Moxie boost, however it only puts him back up to neutral attack, since my Intimidate lowered it. And all the damage this guy is taking really starting to rack up. Here I switch in Galvantula because of Death Fod, but I decide to switch out here, thinking perhaps he'd want to go for Sucker Punch. And turns out he does. So I get a bit of nice health regain on Umbreon, and a nice dead bird. Down it goes to its Toxic. So he now sends in the Shino, his Mega Beedrill, and I'm not too afraid of it. Perhaps I think maybe I forgot that Dark was weak against Bug, because yeah, I stay right in here and get O code. Not the end of the world, I've still got some other folks who could take care of this. Sorry. My chandelier, for example. He does give me the switch priority here, luckily. However, I don't have too many things that can hit this fat duck. I decided to switch in Galvantula, figure go for Thunder, maybe it's physically defensive, do a fair bit of damage. But looking at that damage, it looks like it is specially defensive. Quite worrying for me, because yeah, it's unlikely I'm going to be able to kill. Here I go for a Bug Buzz, hoping maybe I can get the special defense drop. Unfortunately I do not. Its stab try attack does a fair bit of damage to me. Quite inconvenient. I go for it one more time, hoping I can make use of switching something else in. But unfortunately he goes for recover. Pretty bad for me. I'm gonna die after my next attack. So I figure just go for Thunder, do as much damage as I can. But he's probably gonna go for a recover anyway, so poor Galvantula, he sacrificed himself for nothing. Down goes Galvantula. And here I figure Crocodile will be a good switch in. Crocodile can do a fair bit of damage, maybe get a knockoff, get rid of those leftovers. But out comes the Mushroom here. I know these things are usually specially defensive, so hopefully I'm able to do enough damage here. And my knockoff does bring it down to below half health. And here I figure maybe an Earthquake would be able to kill it. It is a neutral hit. But out comes Dumbo. I'm curious to see how much Earthquake will do here. And it does a solid third, perhaps. But he does have the leftovers, so I'm going to have to knock that off. Away with the leftovers. While he rapid spins my sticky web away. Quite inconvenient. But now I know an Earthquake should kill. Unfortunately he does go for the Ice Shard. So down to an Earthquake it goes. And I get a Moxie boost. However, without that sticky web, I am in trouble. A lot of things will be able to outspeed me now. Such as this bug. I figure I'll just stay in anyway. For some reason I had it in my head that bug was neutral to me, since I'm a ground type, but no, I got it wrong. Turns out I only do half to bug, not bug only does half to me. Totally screwed myself up there. Back out comes the fat duck. I'm pretty worried here, I'm running out of things that could kill it. At least I know I've got Chandelure who can power up its attack. Maybe if I get a few Calm Minds up I'll be able to take it out. Even I do have a very strong special attack. But yeah, it goes for the Toxic on me. At least it can't use its stab try attack on me. I believe Flamethrower is my strongest attack. But I decide to get another Calm Mind up. Need to make sure I can take that thing out. For some reason he switched in his Mushroom here. Maybe he wanted to use it as Death Follower, but... So down that thing goes to a Flamethrower. So out comes the Beedrill again, but I'm not sure what it wants to do. I do resist its bug attacks, but oh, turns out that thing has knockoff. Quite inconvenient for Chandelure. Here I figure I've pretty much lost the battle. Mega Beetle is extremely strong and fast. Even with a Dragon Dance, I might not be able to outspeed it. I'm able to get the Dragon Dance off, and I go for the Aerial Ace. And I'm able to get the Moxie Boost from it. Luckily those things have terrible physical defense. However, I know he's got the Fat Duck, and there's very little I can do to the Fat Duck here, even at +2. Those ducks are fat. Probably Tri-Attack will kill me here. So I go for my strong attack, Dragon Claw, which lucky for me does over half, and super lucky for me, I get the Paralyze. Probably if that Paralyze didn't happen, that would have been a dead Salamence and the battle would have been over. But I am able to 2-hit KO that Fat Duck and get another Moxie boost off. Out comes Golden Gary again, which puts my attack down to +2. But here I start to get very hopeful. I go for the Earthquake. I know it's physically defensive, but I am +2, and I do take it out. That was a very narrow victory for me, very lucky indeed. That Parahack saved me. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed.